And we are rolling in 3, 2, 1. Folks, welcome back to the Lakers Lens Podcast, Season 2, Episode 1. Here with my co-host, as usual, Max Arquilla. Say what's up, Max.
What's up? It's good to be back. I'm glad we're back. We're doing this again. It was a bad end of the season last year. We're hoping for different results this year.
Yes, sir, and I am the other host, Matt Hollenbeck. Guys, crazy off-season. Dude, I swear the last, 5 years, it's just been... We haven't had the same team. We haven't had a consistent team in so long. But we have a lot of stuff to go over, folks. I mean...
Brand new team.
Literally a brand new team.
Old, it's weird. It's like a brand new team, but, old,
with
familiar
old players.
Faces. Yeah.
Yeah, and some familiar faces, too. People coming back.
Yep.
Just off the bat, we're going to go through this list of people that we should probably go through the people that left first, I think.
Yeah.
And give, kind of a grade is, how did we do? Do we care about these people? Honestly, I think a lot of the people that we lost were, we kind of wanted them to go, except for, Caruso.
Caruso
honestly.
Was the hardest. I think we all can agree that Caruso was the one we all wanted to keep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But let's just start with Schroeder. Kind of a weird situation. Wanted, I think it was, $85 million or something?
Something like that.
And ended up getting 10.
What is it? Yeah, I think it's under 10
for the Celtics. And I think he did a post, an exit interview of why, how he felt, and he just felt like he was worth more than he really was, man. And you just weren't. So, not sad to see him go. I don't know about you, Max.
No, not at all. And I actually think the Celtics was for the situation he was put in, where there was no teams that had any interest in him. I think the Celtics was actually the best spot for him, just as for him to basically now have an opportunity to play, get minutes on a playoff contending team, and play for a contract now next year. Because the dude was trying to get a contract. Now he kind of screwed himself. But that's what happens when you come back. I get the whole, he had COVID, right? That, obviously, it's, it's hard to come back from that. But, he had, weeks to get into, back into shape, and he was awful in the play. I mean, that's just what happens. When you're that bad in the playoffs, teams, that's not a good look. So it's I'm glad we didn't re-sign him. We let him go. It was just, it was a marriage that just didn't work.
Yeah. And hopefully he can get more content for his vlog in Boston. Seems like he's probably making more money on YouTube than he is in
I know, maybe that's what he really
NBA.
wants.
But yeah, Schroeder not too concerned.
I think
and then
we
Max,
all were happy with that one. Yeah.
A monster trade
Ooh.
to the Washington Wizards. Well, I guess it was a three-way, wasn't it? But technically, these guys were on the Wizards.
Basically, yeah.
Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Kyle Kuzma, thank God, and Montrezl Harrell for Russell Westbrook, basically.
I was so happy about this trade. I think there's a lot of criticism with Pelinka and kind of executing this trade because, if everyone's aware, I'm sure you are if you're listening to this, they basically were about to get Buddy Hield. And it looks like they're about to execute that trade, basically the same trade, but for Buddy Hield, which would have been a nice addition because the guy's a knockdown three-point shooter. But it looks like right before they're about to do it, the Wizards called and they're like, hey, we'll give you Russell Westbrook. I think they were trying to get out of that contract and kind of go a different direction, build around Beal. I don't blame Pelinka. I think sometimes we get so obsessed with fit, which is fine, and I get it. Fit matters. But at the same time, I'm the type of person, I think we've talked about this on the pod, just get the talent and figure out everything else after that, right? If you have a good coach, you can do it, right? And I think with the Nets having those three superstars, I think it was time for us to get another superstar. And Westbrook played phenomenal the second half of the season. I think people forget that. The guy was averaging basically a triple-double. Again, that's... so he's gonna bring a different dynamic to this team, and I'm just so excited. I mean, I can talk about it forever, but like just that IQ and also the playmaking ability that we've needed that Schroeder didn't give us, and also taking the weight off LeBron's shoulders and just giving us that other option. I mean, he does it all. He really does, and that's something we need. What do you think?
Just to add what you were saying too, is I feel like what you described is like the fit problem. Like our team didn't really fit in 2020, and we still won. Now we have that team basically plus Carmelo, Westbrook. I mean,
Monk, a couple of young guys too. We'll talk about that.
Right, but the point is, of course, we can't hide from the elephant in the room. Yeah, we're really old. We're an old team.
Yeah.
We don't have the chemistry because we lost a lot of those guys that built whatever chemistry we did have. But hey, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter, honestly. If you have guys that are that good, like, it's gonna pay off. Exactly. Like, I mean, look at the Nets, dude. They almost made the finals with only KD, basically.
Yeah, I know, right? Exactly.
Imagine if Kyrie and Harden was 100%. Yeah. Like, dude, they would have won, for sure. So I think that's, like, what you said, like, Pelinka's thinking. Like, people get mad, like, oh, you gotta look 5 years down the line. It's like, well, we're in LA, baby. Like,
and LeBron, like, it's time, dude. Like, his window.
Right.
I mean, you gotta win now, this year. Like,
totally.
You know?
Yeah, they can figure it out later. And then the other thing I wanted to say was, I don't know what it is about the public and Westbrook, but I've always loved Westbrook. Like, some people don't like him or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's true to his team, which I love. Like, he was so dedicated to the Thunder.
He was.
I feel like he didn't really want to be in Washington, to be honest. But you know, he's just like he's like, I don't know. He can be kind of like a personality, but at the same time, you know, he's a triple-double machine. He's not gotten any worse, really. And he's, like you said, he's just going to be, like, take that load off LeBron, AD. He can put up 40 any night he wants. The way I see it, he'll probably average, like, 15 and 15.
Probably.
And 10.
I don't think... Yeah, I mean, I think he'll be closer to 20. I think he'll look to attack a lot. I mean, but you're right. He'll probably be around like 15 to 20. If I was him, I know it's like another thing with fit. Everyone talking about like spacing the floor and like how it's an issue with him, right? Because he's not a consistent 3-point shooter. When the Lakers played the Rockets in the bubble, there's pictures of like LeBron basically guarding him and like no one guarding him. He just needs, dude, like, literally just focus on your shot. Like, just be, like, average. Like, if he can just be, like, okay and knock down a few when we need it, that's all we need from him.
Right.
And one other thing I want to touch on with him, like, I think's been really nice to see. He just seems happy. Because, remember, this is his home. Like, and that's a big thing that people don't realize. Like, he wanted to play here. Like, he wanted to be home. Like, if all the reports are that this is where he wanted to be. This is a dream come true for him. That's going to contribute to the floor. Like, if you're mentally in a good state, he's home, he's in LA, he's happy. He's like good friends with LeBron and AD. Like, that's just going to make him buy in more. Like, the Wizards or like even the Thunder when KD left, like, you know, the Rockets, it just wasn't good fits for him, dude. And he was still putting up stats. But, like, that wasn't a good fit for him. And, you might keep saying fit. I beg to differ. I think this might actually work out great. Again, kind of depends on the supporting cast, which we'll get into later. But I think just that mental, like, aspect of him being home, being happy, I think is going to contribute.
I agree.
Yeah.
Just a quick, who do we miss most out of that for that trade? KCP, Kuzma, or Harrell?
Probably KCP, to be honest. I know we rip on KCP and we ripped on him this year. Listen, I had my issues with him. I'm okay. Like, I was fine with him leaving, but if you're having me choose Kuzma, I was beyond done with him. Harrell just didn't even want to play for us. Like, there's too many issues because like we Vogel benched him, whatever. That was just, it was over. Like, it was time to move on from him. And, like, he wasn't that great of a fit. Like, talk about fit
Yeah.
again. Like, he just didn't work with that roster last year. It was time to move on from him. KCP, I do kind of miss his perimeter defense. We'll talk about someone we actually just signed recently, but I'll save that conversation. But his perimeter defense I am going to miss. I think people focus, and I'll be the first to admit, like, kind of on his shooting more because we really needed that. And he just didn't step up last year, KCP. But his perimeter defense was something that was pretty underrated. He was always a reliable guy, good around coming around screens. That really helped us a lot. So if I had to pick, I'd probably say KCP.
Yeah, me too. And I think we can kind of breeze through these guys that we lost to free agency. Not really too upset about Keith, McLemore. Drummond, for some reason, is like the new Ben Simmons on the Sixers.
Looks good on the Sixers, dude.
Yeah, he's just, that's classic Lakers curse. Kostas, Jared Dudley hung up the towel, and K-Cock.
Yeah. Kind of sad, those guys, just because I liked them as people, but it doesn't really make a difference to the Lakers.
Yeah, just watch them get better on a different team.
Yeah. Dudley, good for him.
Pay attention.
Congrats to Dudley for becoming an assistant coach for the Mavs, right?
Yeah.
It was the Mavs, right?
I think.
I believe so.
Yeah, it was.
Good for him. I really don't have many complaints, to be honest, with like these moves and kind of moving on. I just think it was time. And again, we don't really know all the stuff that happens behind the scenes. Like, I'm sure LeBron's talking to Pelinka all the time and saying, like, I just don't think so. And I trust LeBron. Like, to be honest, like, the guy's so smart. He's successful for a reason. I think they all talk. They kind of like figure this out together, to be honest. And I'm happy. I'm really happy. I'm excited to talk about like the additions.
Yeah. Well, let's do that. We already talked about Russell Westbrook. Just go down the list here.
Yeah.
So a guy I was surprised that we got, and he's super underrated, Kendrick Nunn. What do you think about Kendrick Nunn?
He's still young, undrafted. I love his story. Lefty, sniper. This guy has potential, right? That is what you want in a young guy. You want to see flashes of him taking over a game. He took over in the bubble in one of those games against the Lakers. He's done it in the playoffs. Like, he is a very capable scorer. He's actually questionable about tomorrow. Questionable to play tomorrow. I really hope he does play. But he's going to be such a spark off the bench. Him and Carmelo, dude, like, they're going to light up offensively for us off the bench. Again, like, this was it was a shocker for all, but we didn't think we were going to be able to get him, right? Like, he took a pay cut. And what a move by Pelinka. I mean, you have to sell a guy, right? Like, you have to sell him on this role, that he's going to have a role with us. Dude, he's not starting. So, like, obviously Pelinka had to sell him with, like, you're coming off the bench. For a guy to take a pay cut to come off the bench, for a guy who probably would start on, like, the Wizard or, like, some bad team, right? Like, what an amazing move by Pelinka to get a guy just with talent, right? A guy who you can kind of plug in anywhere and it's going to give you positive results. So he can shoot, he can create. That's huge. Something we'll talk about him, but Rondo, like, Rondo can create for others, but he sometimes has issues like shooting and scoring. None can do that. He can create, but he can literally score the basketball. He can shoot. It's something that we missed in 2020, even though we won, and we missed last year again. Just that lack of, I know it sounds just like straightforward, but scoring, like, we just need that. So he's gonna bring that. It's gonna be really nice to see him out there.
Also, like what you said about him buying into the idea that he's obviously not going to be like the go-to guy. I mean, I think that just talks about his character and like his values and how hard he's going to work, because I mean, if you're undrafted, you're in the running for like most improved, or he made the first all NBA rookie team his first year. Like, dude, from going from undrafted to like having a ton of potential like that is like, you want a big paycheck because you feel like you might not get this chance again.
Yep. You usually see those guys getting as much money as they can, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And he didn't do that. I mean, like, he'd rather win, it just goes to show that he's going to be playing really hard and basically really open to like his whatever his role needs to be. That's what he's gonna do. So
Yeah. And you love that. And that's can't ask for anything more. So great.
So let's talk about our guy. I love Carmelo Anthony, man. I always have. Dude, his shot just ages like fine wine.
Yeah.
He literally, the other night, man, he was just on fire.
Oh, yeah.
He's just jumping
little, like,
so
back
smooth.
when he posts you up and then a little spin. I love it, dude. It's so great.
Yeah.
It's going to give us that extra scoring boost off the bench. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Yeah. Not much else to say. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer.
Veteran.
Like, yeah. He's just gonna be. The way I see it is, you know, maybe we have like a either end of the spectrum. We're having like a bad end of the first quarter, early second quarter, or we're on fire and we got to take out our good guys, our best guys.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna come in and no matter what is gonna happen, if we're down or up, he's just gonna fill it up. Like that's
confidence.
what he's gonna do.
Yeah. And like I think there's gonna be certain games where like, you know, and I think that's what makes this roster so nice is there's a lot of guys. We were just talking about Kendrick Nunn. Like we'll talk about, you know, some other guys, but like there's a lot of guys on this team that at any given night could be having it going, right? Like Carmelo's one of those guys. He could be really feeling it one night. Vogel, put him in the closing lineup. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. He can easily plug in with LeBron, Westbrook, and AD. Easily. Yeah, like you're not going to start him, right? Because his defense is probably not where it used to be. But I mean, if you need a guy that's hot and like can be a reliable knockdown shooter when like all the attention gets drawn to like those big three, I trust personally Carmelo to knock down that corner three under 2 minutes, right? Like I trust that. I know Vogel does too. It's so good to have pieces like that because then like Vogel can pick and choose based on how the game's going, based on matchups, who he likes. It makes you more dynamic. So great pickup as well.
Totally. Well, okay, we got Ariza too, but he just had surgery.
Yeah. He's gonna be out
4 to 8 weeks. No, at least 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's gonna be, but this was like a couple weeks ago, I think. So he's already in that timeline. Yeah. What do you think of Ariza?
I mean, we don't have to. There's not too much to say. He's previous Laker. Loves being back here. It seems like kind of like a victor, like one last lap for him, sort of thing.
Yeah.
He's gonna bring that veteran experience. He's gonna play hard. I like his chippiness. Like you saw in Miami, he was like getting fights and stuff. I love that.
No, he's not scared of anybody. Yeah, he's not scared of anybody. Yeah.
He can go in there and guard your best like your best wing player and like get scrappy and like pick up some fouls. Like that's what he does. He hits a corner three every time.
Yeah.
That's just the kind of guy he is. I mean, he's not gonna do anything fantastic, but he's gonna be that
role,
that veteran experience, and the guy that really just doesn't have anything to lose.
Yeah, I think I do have to say though, I think he has lost a step, like a pretty big step.
Oh yeah,
I was watching him last year, and he's a little behind here and there, like a little slower, which comes with old age. I'm happy with this signing because I love Ariza and like he played with Kobe, like he won a championship with Kobe, like I love it. I guess I'm not like, oh my gosh, this is gonna like make a difference in our championship run. I think we're low at wing depth, so yeah, we need a guy like that because we're very low in wing depth. That's something we should maybe touch on. But I'm just happy because I love him and I want him to be a part of this. So I'm okay with it. But I'm not like this is gonna make or break our season.
Yeah, and then another guy I like it. He's an ex-Laker. Oh, he's coming back for another tour. Yeah. I know. Wayne Ellington.
Oh, I was thinking of someone else, actually. There's so many former Lakers, dude.
Yeah, there's 4, I think, right now.
I think more. Anyways, yeah.
5, yeah.
Yeah.
Wayne Ellington, I like him. I like what he's done. He can score, and he's solid. But I don't know if I like him starting. That's just me. It looks like that's what they're... Not now because he's hurt, but... It looks like they want him in that, like, sacrifice... that, like, sacrifice role that we have? Like, where you'll start, like, an old dude for, like, 5 minutes and then not play him the rest of the game. Like, that's what it seems like they're going to do with Wayne Ellington.
I'm not as thrilled with this signing as other people. I like that he shot, I think it was like 43% from three last year, which is really good. And like, I think it's the right idea. Like, get as many shooters as you can. I'm okay again with him being a bench guy. I don't think he should start. That's another thing we should talk about. I feel like there's so many things, but like potential starting lineups, because Vogel hasn't disclosed that yet. I don't like him starting. I agree with you there. I think defensively he's just, again, dude, like, there's so many good guards in the West even, like, and it's just I am not looking forward to him getting lost in screens against the Warriors and Curry just like, like, I'm just not looking forward to that. We dealt with that with the Lakers last year, I feel like. I'm kind of like just like whatever with him. Like, it's just okay. Yeah. Like, I'm glad he's a good shooter. I hope he can shoot well. That's what he needs to do, and work on his at least being decent defensively. But I'm not. Him and Ariza were kind of my like, okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I guess my point with saying about the starting thing is I don't want it to turn into like a Danny Green situation where like, okay, he's a whatever 4-time champion, so let's just start him in because he was good at one point, and he's old. It's like, if he's not playing well, I'd rather see a guy that's maybe not as developed, like Malik Monk, just take that spot. Like,
oh, I can't wait to talk about him. He's my favorite. He's my favorite off-season signing.
Yeah, we might as well just transfer to him.
Dive into it. What do you think? Monk. You go first.
I mean, dude, I've said it before. Like, I followed him since high school. He's just a pooper, man. He
Absolutely,
just,
dude.
Like, he's not the most like mature. Like, you've seen that clip of Michael Jordan like slapping him in the back of the head, like when he was on the Hornets. But he can just fill it up. Like, he just break you down off the dribble, one-on-one.
Doesn't care. Step back right in your face. Just, I mean.
Yeah. He's like, he has confidence to like a fault. Like, you'll see he'll make a really good move and then he'll make a bad play. And it's like, if he can like figure that out and like mature at that level, like, he's going to be really tough to stop. And, he's long, he's skinny, but he can guard if he wants to.
He can.
And he's just a high flyer, man. It's just fun to watch. There's going to be a lot of cool plays.
This was such a great... Again, dude, I mean, this is just... This signing, I remember I saw this, and I was like, this has to be a joke, dude. Like, how another player like Nunn that could have got paid more elsewhere and to come be, potential starter, I think he actually might start, but...
I think he should.
Yeah, I think he should 100%. But again, there was nothing set in stone, so he didn't know. He thought he could come up with, like, dude, I think he's the type of player that might like absolutely flourish next to LeBron, AD, and Westbrook. I'm so happy about the signing. It's my favorite signing this offseason. I think he's literally going to have a breakout year. I truly believe this guy is going to, he's playing to get with 3 stars. I'm not saying like he's going to be a freaking like 25 point a game, but like, he's going to have a good year, dude. He's going to get open looks. I think he's going to shoot 40% from 3, and I think he's going to fit perfectly, and that's why I think he should start. I mean, dude, he can defend like pretty solid. Like, he's not like an all-time defender, but like, he's reliable. He can create. I think that's something else too. We think Westbrook, LeBron, they can do it. There's going to be times where he's going to have the ball, and we're going to need him to, like, you put Ellington there, right? Yeah. You're taking away that dimension of like having that other player that can create, right? Yeah. Monk can do that. He loves going one-on-one. ISO. Right. Sure. Yeah. He's going to have the worst defender on him. Like, I just think there's going to be so many mismatches. He's going to get so many open looks. I think it's just, I'm going to be, if Vogel doesn't start on him, I'm going to be like, I just think that's a mistake. I really do. Because Carmelo, we have guys off the bench. THT, I know he's hurt too. But we have guys that can create and do that off the bench. Just put in Monk, like, in the starting lineup. Yeah. I think he'll flourish. So, I just have so many great things to say about him. I think he's a great pickup. And he's young, too.
Also want to add that, like, don't forget how insanely, like, guard-heavy the Hornets were the whole time he was there.
Yes,
like good Devontae point. Graham, both of the Martin twins, like,
he didn't have the opportunity.
LaMelo last year. Mm-hmm. Like, dude, he didn't. 100%. And he's the kind of guy that, like, needs to be your number one.
Such a good point.
Obviously, he's not going to be that here, but, like, as far as, like, going one-on-one, like late shot clock situations where LeBron can just kick it to him. He can one dribble, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you're going to see a lot of that stuff. So it's going to be fun to watch.
Oh, think how many open looks he's going to get, dude. If he starts... Oh my gosh, dude. It's gonna,
no one's going to guard him. I mean, they can't. There's too much else going on. And then we'll talk Kent Bazemore. I mean, okay. I look at Kent Bazemore very similar to Wayne Ellington, is in the fact that he's potential starter for whatever reason. Probably not, though.
His defense, I think, is why. Like, just to plug him, he's very active defensively. I think he's worked on that. He's gotten better, and he shoots over 40% from three. Like, that's, I think, all Vogel's looking for. A bigger defender. Yeah,
he's going to camp in those corners.
Yeah,
just wait for the ball, kick, shoot. And I like that. I mean, I don't want to put too many minutes into these guys that are not... They were never great, Like the narrative is, okay, they're coming back to LA, like they're gonna want to play better, or they're going to play better. Maybe they were better on a worse team. Like, it's not the same here. Like, we messed that up with Danny Green, when we should have been playing up the guys.
Don't want another Danny Green. Well, I can see, like, honestly, with Bazemore, I can see him kind of being the not like he plays like Kuzma, like he'll be a step up, but like the guy who, like, he'll make a mistake at the end of a game, or miss a shot, or like kind of make a weird play, and everyone bullies him, like they did with Danny Green. I can see him doing that. Maybe Danny Green's a better comparison, but yeah.
But yeah, not much. I mean, we just need to see what they do. Like, it's gonna. Let's not forget, these are old. Like, a lot of these guys are old, like mid-30s.
How old is Bazemore?
He's got to be
that old, though, right? He's not.
Dude, he was on the Lakers in like 2012.
But he's not as old as Ellington, though. I think Ellington's.
He's 32.
It's not.
He's
that's
all right.
Westbrook, right? Westbrook's 32.
Yeah. He'll be fine. But
I think he's the type of player, though. Like, if you listen to him, like, interviewed, like, he's very bought in to, like, doing his role, and like he's if he's starting, which I think he will. I think we all kind of feel that. He knows that he's out there to defend, like, get rebounds, defend, like, play your absolute butt off, and hit open shots like that. That's it, dude. Monk,
he knows
if he
that
starts,
too.
Yeah, Monk is going to be that creator, right? That's why I think it works with Monk, and we'll talk about that. But anyways, I think it's a good signing. I'm not complaining.
Yeah. No, I'm not complaining at all. I'm just not. I'm trying to be realistic.
For sure. Totally.
I'm not going to be like, look at all these amazing.
No.
Like,
I mean, Bazemore's literally not like.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a ceiling like Monk or none, right?
Right.
He just is what he is, right?
No. Yeah. So we got 2 more minutes here. Let's go through one more player. Rondo's just going everywhere these past
Dwight,
5 years.
Let's just combine him, Rondo and Dwight. I love it,
veterans.
Sure.
And DeAndre.
Let's
combine all 3 of them.
Yeah, again, you're seeing kind of the trend with the Lakers, right? Experience, IQ. Yeah. These guys have been in the league for a while. They're smart. I think that locker room is going to be great. They're going to be able to figure out defenses and expose it. Like, we have a lot of great minds. Dwight gives you that energy. I'm happy he's back. He can block shots. You know what Dwight... Everyone knows what Dwight does. We don't need to talk about that. Rondo, you know what he's going to do, right? He's going to get the offense going. DeAndre was never the biggest fan of the signing, to be honest, just because I think he's lost his step as well. But, sure, another big guy, another rebounder. You're seeing guys that can fill into roles,
What I see is, like... Okay, we're both afraid that everyone's so old. Like, we have an old team. But there's so many guys that, God forbid, like, 1 or 2 of them gets hurt, that it's like there's another one just sitting there, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, these guys, like, they're old, but they're, like, Dwight Howard looks amazing. Like, looks like he's, like, lost 10 pounds. Like, dude, these guys are all in pretty good shape for as old as they are, and... I don't know. But, I mean, there's only a couple more. We have 30 seconds. But, like, our rookies, Mac McClung, Ayayi, Austin Reeves. We can get to that later. But there's not going to be a lot of room for them this year. In my mind. But we can just roll over into the next segment.
Why don't we just talk about
break
it
here.
after the break? Yeah.
So we'll be back in about literally a second because I'm going to cut it. All right, bye. We're back with the Lakers Lens podcast second half. We're just going to go through some of these guys. I already forgot a few, but let's talk about our... So during the break, Max was telling me Ayayi is gone. He got picked up somewhere else. Mm-hmm. McClung is G League.
Yeah, they're gonna use him in the G League team.
Which I like him. I mean, he's just like social media famous, so it's a little hard to gauge like how good he actually is. But it's like you expect a guy like that to get into the Lakers organization.
Yeah, perfect spot for him, G League.
And then you wanted to talk about two guys in particular. Well, let's start with Avery Bradley.
Yeah.
He just was I feel like he was on the Warriors like 2 days ago.
He was. He got waived, and then Lakers claimed him off waivers literally an hour or two ago. Which sure. I'm exactly sure. That's how I feel. You know why? Because one thing we haven't really talked about much of, I mean, a little bit with individual players, but like defensively, something that I think is a worry. We're all kind of trusting Vogel, but like we have a lot of offense now. And we've lost some defense, right? Like KCP. Schroeder was actually a great defender. I think we forgot that. Yeah. And some other guys here and there. I think that Avery Bradley gives you that. Again, with him, you got to be cautious. Like, he's filling, like, basically our last roster spot. Like, this isn't someone, like, I don't think they're going to just throw him into the rotation right away. I think he's going to have to earn his spot, earn his minutes. But he gives you a guy, like, that gives you a guy that can literally, like, what at one point was one of the best, if not the best, perimeter defenders, right? For us, he was phenomenal. It just gives you that option, right? And I think that's really important since we have lacked defense with this roster construction. So, great signing, sure. Like, I'm the same way as you. Like, sure, why not? Bring him in.
I can honestly see him, like, either ending a game on, like, a Curry or starting a game on, like, just to tire a star out, you know?
Yeah, and that's what he would do in 2020, dude. Like, he would start just do that.
The first 3 minutes, 5 minutes, just, like, pick up a few fouls, like get a couple steals, make someone really tired, and then just, like, you won't see him till the second half, start of the second half. Like, I could see him doing that, for sure.
That's who the person I forgot was Caruso was who we lost defensively, right? So that was I was saying all these players and I didn't forget literally our best defensive asset. So now Bradley, gives you someone who can, maybe fill that role. Yeah, we'll see.
I gotta say it's like bittersweet to see Caruso like just filling up like Instagram on like House of Highlights in Chicago. It's crazy, man. It's like your son that just like, grew up
exactly.
and moved on.
But yeah.
So you have two other guys you want to talk about.
Yeah, so Jay Huff is another guy we signed this morning to a 2-way contract. So remember, just a 2-way contract, not he's going to be going back and forth. Probably won't see him on the active roster. Or I shouldn't say on the active roster, but shouldn't see him unless there's like injuries. Like, this isn't going to be a guy that's really going to play much. But he'll get a lot of, playing time in the G League. Really good shooter for a big man, 7'1", big guy, Virginia. I don't know much about him, but sure, why not? And then the last spot is Austin Reeves. I really was excited to talk about him. Don't want to take up too much time, but I have been very impressed. I was a little like, he looked decent in the summer league, but I was kind of like, he has looked so great in the preseason. So great. And I know it's preseason. I know it's a small sample size, but you know what? Like, sometimes you can watch, and even if it's preseason, like, you can just tell the way he's communicating and playing with LeBron. I mean, dude, he's been playing with like the stars. And he looks great with them. He's been making the right play. High IQ. smart.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that is so crucial. You need that. That's how Caruso was able to make it, dude. Like, that's how.
Right.
His mind. Like, he's a smart
Yeah.
player. So, and he's a feisty defender. Like, I love it, dude. I think that's a guy that, like, really can get minutes this year with the injuries we have. Like, don't be surprised if you see him. Vogel likes him. LeBron likes him. He can shoot. So he doesn't overdo it. He's poised. That's really impressive for a rookie. So another undrafted guy. So I just wanted to say that. We can move on, but really excited with what we have with him.
I will add just a little thing you said about like the sample size in preseason.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about preseason is players that are good, that turn out to be good, almost always play well in preseason. So like Kuzma, Lonzo.
Yeah.
Kuzma sucks now, but like
THT,
Caruso, THT.
really yeah.
But if you don't turn out to be good, you're probably not good in preseason. So see a guy like him play well in the preseason is encouraging. That's all you can say there. But It's like if he's going to be good, he probably has to play well in preseason. So.
And I think he's the type of player that, like, I think that's what kind of issue with the summer league. Like, he had the ball in his hands and he was like asked to create everything, and like I don't really think that's where he fits in the NBA. Like, I think he's more of like a Caruso role, right? Like, kind of off the ball, and that's when he flourished, right? When he played in the preseason.
Yeah.
So I just think that's also another reason.
And Sekou.
Oh, that was the last one. Yeah.
I followed him a little bit. Like, he's
not
just got. Yeah, no, not at all. Like, he's obviously pretty raw. Like, but he can
6'9".
He's crafty. He's like, he's good with the ball. He's not like, he's kind of like a Zach Randolph where he's not like super athletic,
but crafty.
but he can like, he's good in the post. He's good at like, he's
in the paint area, kind of like getting those like runners, like little
Yeah, and he was on a team. He was on the Pistons. They had a bunch of young guys, like sort of similar to like Malik Monk in the sense that his team wasn't very defined. He had no like guidance really. They were just kind of like, hey, you're new, go play and see what happens. So maybe under a better system he can kind of flourish, and there's not a ton of room for him right now. But
wings though, I think that's where he kind of can help us, right? He's 6'9", he can guard the wing. But I think his biggest thing is like, can he knock down the perimeter shot? And he shot a pretty poor percentage last year, I believe. That's something he's going to have to work on, and I think that's going to kind of tell if he's going to get playing time once like Ariza comes back. But I mean, dude, if I'm Vogel, dude, I'm giving some of these guys opportunities, man. I think we have a lot of guys like there's going to be someone that's going to come out of nowhere, like one of these guys, Reeves, and they're going to come out of nowhere, dude. Like, I'm telling you, I have a feeling. Sekou, like, I'm telling you.
Well, I think this is a good segue to what we should talk about next is you've had issues with it in the past, especially towards the end of last season and in the playoffs. I think we both agree that one of Vogel's weaknesses is his ability to like stick to a rotation.
Yep.
And I think, honestly, Max, I think that problem is harder this year because obviously not with our main three, Westbrook, AD, and LeBron. That's not an issue. But there's so many guys, and it's not like it's clear who should be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Like it's just there's so many, and
options.
At a certain point you have to make a decision. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to play at least 3 of those guys more than the other ones. You can't just rotate everyone. So what do you? I mean, okay, let's just be realistic here and say we're taking out Wayne Ellington because he's hurt. We're taking out THT right now because we got to just look like the next couple weeks into the fast.
Let's talk about it and kind of like segue into the starting lineup. What do you think?
So who do you want to see? Obviously, we have Westbrook at point guard, LeBron at power forward, AD at center.
So, So this is my lineup. What I think Vogel should do. I think it should be Russell Westbrook, Malik Monk, Kent Bazemore, LeBron, AD. I think that's your best starting lineup. I think another option is I think I would go by matchups. If there's a bigger team, I'd then probably take Monk out, have him come off the bench as the sixth man, and go DeAndre Jordan at the 5. If there's like a, even like a Jokic where you don't really want to beat up AD, right? Like you don't want to beat him up, especially in the regular season. Then you have that option. Put in DeAndre Jordan. I think Dwight Howard's perfect just coming off the bench. That's his role. That's what he's good at doing, mixing it up. So I would go, I think tomorrow the starting lineup should be those 5. And then I would say off the bench, I mean, you're looking at, so we're taking out Teach, all the guys that are hurt. So just right now, none. If he plays, he's questionable. I really hope he plays. My goodness. Yeah. We're going to need him.
Carmelo.
None Carmelo, Dwight, Rondo. I think Reeves is going to get minutes, dude. I don't know. I think he might. I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know. We'll see, yeah.
Are we missing? Who are we missing?
DeAndre Jordan. Rondo.
Yeah, DeAndre Jordan if they do go that smaller lineup.
That's really it right now.
I think that's
Avery Bradley.
Because there's some injuries. In the future, THT will obviously be a big part.
I kind of disagree with you on...
So what would you say?
I think... I just don't see the Kent Bazemore narrative, to be honest. Every situation you gave had Kent Bazemore starting.
Yeah, I would, dude.
Which
I
is
think
fair.
He should start.
I think...
So you're voting
to
tomorrow?
I say Russell Westbrook, Malik Monk, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and DeAndre, yeah.
Okay.
Because think about 2020 in the bubble. We did that McGee, Dwight Howard rotation. That worked out perfectly. Do we always keep one of those guys in?
See, the issue though with that lineup, who's guarding the wing though? LeBron, I guess, because then he's taking up too much. That's that's the reason I think Bazemore needs to be in there because he's 6. He's a little taller. He can guard kind of more of those wings, like Wiggins. It's probably not a good example because
no, it is.
I feel,
it is a good example.
Yeah, but a player like that wing position, right? When we play the Clippers, do you want LeBron trying to guard Paul George? That's going to exude so much energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just kind of the best we have. I don't know. That's my only thing with my worry with that. But I do kind of feel like we could dominate inside out with DeAndre and AD inside. I mean, I do like that. I mean, I think... I don't know. It's tough.
I mean, I just think...
It's tough.
I just think they're not going to play Dwight Howard and DeAndre Jordan together. That would be stupid.
That would be a disaster.
So how are they going to play that third center? How are they ever going to play DeAndre Jordan?
They might not.
I mean, because...
Dude, I know they said they want AD to play more at the 5 this year. And I don't know if that means playoffs. And it might be. You might be right. They might go DeAndre. I honestly, dude, I would not be surprised if DeAndre Jordan starts tomorrow. Not at all, dude. I honestly, they kind of did that in the preseason. I would not be surprised at all. And they maybe, we got to remember, too, Monk's coming off an injury. That could be another reason they don't start him. They might be all right, let's just take it easy. We don't want to throw you in there after coming off the injury. And they could go, this, too. They could go Westbrook, Bazemore. I know you don't like Bazemore. Bazemore, LeBron, AD, DeAndre Jordan. That could also be a lineup. I wouldn't be surprised with.
Yeah. And then, what would you say, so AD obviously plays the most in the first quarter, right? I think Westbrook does too. I think LeBron comes out first. I think Bazemore stays, and then whoever plays shooting guard stays. Yeah. I just think, Yeah. I think Carmelo probably comes in pretty early too.
Probably for LeBron, I would say.
Yeah.
You know, LeBron gets that quick break. They might want to bring in Melo to maybe like get a spark, along with like Nunn.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's gonna, dude. This is all the stuff where it's like we don't know, and it's like you were talking about before. Like Vogel, I know we've kind of got on him in the past for like being a little too stubborn with his lineups, and it kind of hurting us and not being flexible. And there's a lot. I think everyone's talking about the roster. There's a lot on Frank Vogel's like shoulders this year. Like there's a lot of weight.
Yeah.
He's gotta figure this out, dude. Like,
well,
it's hard. It's the hardest part of a job of a coach.
I say, like, just even looking forward to tomorrow's game, like, my biggest worry is just the speed, like the pace of play, like, just up and down the floor. I mean,
Curry.
I'm not saying these guys are like out of shape or too old or anything, but it's just like we're a bigger team, you know. We're pretty lunky, like but we also like to run fast breaks. So like, how are we gonna get back? That's my biggest problem.
Yeah.
Or like second and third opportunities. You know, I see a lot of situations where there's a long rebound. You know, no one closes out. We just let the wide open three happen. Like, LeBron's not gonna go run out there and close out on like a, you know, like a long rebound three anymore. Like he's not gonna do that. Westbrook's kind of like hit or miss. He's kind of like LeBron in the sense where he's good on ball and then he'll just like disappear for a couple plays.
Picks and chooses. Yeah.
Which is dangerous. We have a lot of good one-on-one defenders, but I'm worried about team defense.
Yes.
I'll just say that.
Totally. And I think that's another reason, like, I think Monk, you need that young spirit in there, right? He's like, what? Isn't he like 25, 26? Like, you need...
Yeah.
I think Monk can give you that speed, too, and that athleticism to pick up a switch, right? Like, you know, those plays you're talking about with Westbrook, like, switches, and he kind of just, like, you know... You don't want Wayne Ellington trying to run slowly to pick up a screen and Curry's that. Like, I don't want to deal with that. I trust Monk to close out faster than Ellington, is my point.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? So, you need that speed, you need that athleticism. So, that's kind of my reasoning. But
let's just get into tomorrow's game.
Yeah, let's do it.
Obviously going to be interesting. Can't really base a lot off of... Everyone on Twitter was freaking out about the like Jordan Poole like going off or whatever. Like
everyone always over exaggerates.
Or like oh my god, Lakers lost. Like, and then they're like, well, Warriors didn't have... I know it's preseason, but Warriors, you know, did this and that. It's like, all right, well, let's play this game tomorrow, and then you can talk about...
Yeah.
Because, you know...
And remember about tomorrow, like, I think we all need to, like, have perspective here. Like, this is a brand new... Like, these guys have not played a lot of minutes together. Yeah. The Warriors have, right? Curry, you know, Wiggins, you know, Draymond. A lot of these guys know each other, right? That chemistry is real. There are going to be bumps in the roads this year. So we'll come on here, we'll let out our frustration, but let's keep perspective here and know that, like, there's going to be games, and, you know, maybe it's not tomorrow. Maybe we come out and play well. You know, maybe it's another game down the road. But there's going to be games where we're going to get spanked. Like, it happens every year. But I can see with this team, there being panic in the fan base. Like, oh, my God, our defense. It's like, okay, defense, it's going to take time. They need to figure out how each other plays. Like, so I think we need to be patient this year. That's just something I want to say. But as far as this game, what would you say are the keys to getting the victory?
Well, we know Curry's going to come out hot.
Oh, of course.
First game of the season, he wants to, you know, make a statement. Honestly, I know I was joking about Jordan Poole, but he's like the current Klay Thompson of that team. Like, clearly not as good, but he's getting better and better, so we need to lock him down. I like seeing him on Monk. Like, I think that's a great matchup for Monk. Defensively, like, just a good test. I think we can lock him up, like, put Nunn on him, someone else. And I think we have enough hounds for for Curry. I'm a little worried about Westbrook guarding Curry, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't love it. I don't know. I mean, I think he's gonna get his points. I mean, he's gonna have 35.
Oh, easily. I think Nunn's a good guy you can bring off the bench and throw him on Curry. Nunn's an underrated defender, and I think I saw kind of a report that they're really expecting Nunn to take a leap defensively this year. Bradley, they just claimed him, so he doesn't even practice, so he won't play tomorrow. But I don't think so. But I think Nunn's someone to look out for. If I'm Vogel, I'm throwing a fresh body at Curry and trying to tire him out. Like, I mean, you have to, dude. Like, he'll just destroy you.
I'm not worried about any other player on that team besides Curry and maybe a little bit of Poole just like getting hot when we're too worried about Curry. But every other matchup that's barbecue chicken.
Destroy them inside.
I mean, Draymond's gonna give him trouble like he always does.
Yeah, you're right. He always does. But I still think, like, I think if you're AD, like, Draymond, you're right. Like, he's done actually better than most people can do on AD. Just stop trying to force it. Like, use your force, but, like, you have a height advantage. Take advantage of that. Start getting that 2-point, 15-footer. You know, instead of, like, trying so much to be physical, I think AD can do that and kind of get out of control. Like, let the game come to you. Feel it out. But if you get the ball, do your work before the ball gets to you. That's something I want AD to work on this year, especially tomorrow. Do the work, whatever his name, Stu Lance always says this about AD. He's like, you know how we always get mad when they, like, hold the ball, like, 5 seconds and then get into it earlier. Like, my goodness, dude. Like, Draymond, like, be physical, seal before you get the ball. Get the ball and then just turn strong and do a little jump hook. That's all you need to do. Stop trying to do this like, I'm going to post you up 15 to 20 yards out. Dude, you're not going to beat Draymond like that. Like, you're not. Stop trying to do that. He did that in the play-in. Stop. So I hope he figures that out.
You have a hot take for me?
Oh, man. Okay, here's my hot take. Reeves is going to come in the game tomorrow. I know you hate this.
That's just too much, man.
3 threes. Come on. That's
win.
In the game, he's going to get hot. He's going to hit 3, or just throughout the 4 quarters, he's going to have 3 threes in the game.
I think that's super hot just because of the fact that I don't even think he's going to play. But
I think, dude, I'm feeling it, man. I think it's gonna surprise people. I think that it's just gonna come out of nowhere. He's gonna get subbed in, like someone's gonna get in foul trouble. Give it to me. Well, Ellington's out. Come on, we have a couple injuries. Ellington, THT, Ariza. That's 3 players, dude.
All right. Yeah.
What? He won't even play now. He won't even play.
I mean, Vogel might want to give him like a little confidence booster just to start the season.
Yeah.
And he can always reel it back.
It is risky though. Throwing a undrafted rookie in the first game.
Yeah, it's pretty weird.
Oh my god, dude. Jeez.
I'm gonna go with my hot take is Carmelo Anthony.
Oh yeah.
With 6 threes.
Oh jeez, snipered tomorrow.
Yep.
Or in the next. Oh my gosh, sure.
Yeah.
All right.
I could see him coming out hot. Like he's gonna be hyped up to play.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, then kind of just looking forward.
Mm-hmm. What's next? We
got Lakers finalists, the Suns.
Oh gosh, I love playing this.
And then the Grizzlies on Sunday. So pretty. So I'm
going to
week.
win tomorrow.
Huh?
Shouldn't we predict tomorrow then?
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Let's do. Yeah.
How would you want to do? Okay, so I'll go W tomorrow. I kind of we're running out of time, but I kind of said everything. I think AD is going to be a focal point. Even though Draymond's a good defender, I think he can create before the ball gets there and just get points in the paint. Just get points in the paint, get him in foul trouble, get Draymond in foul trouble. And then I think Vogel's going to throw a lot of different looks at Curry, tire him out. I just don't think Lakers have too much talent. That's it.
I think, honestly, we either win by 10 or we lose by 20. But I'm going to go with win.
Okay. All right.
It's been a while. We haven't played in a while, so I guess the Warriors haven't either, but...
Yeah.
Suns. We've had trouble with the Suns, man.
I hate the Suns. I'm actually going to predict a loss here. I think this will be a game where just, like, they have too much... The thing with the Suns is, like, I think we're a better team. I just think we're not there yet. Like, I think the Suns... Dude, they have so much chemistry. They have basically the same team. Like, I think that's a game where it's going to be ugly. I really do. I think it's going to be ugly. So I'm just taking a loss. I think it's going to be... Our defense is going to be all over the place.
Yeah, they haven't changed a single thing except for they added a few players. Like, now they have Shamit, like, JaVale McGee. So it's good. Yeah, I'll go with a loss on that one, too. I mean, they're coming off like a miracle run.
They'll be pumped to beat us.
Yeah, they have all the confidence in the world, and I agree. I mean, what can you do? You just...
We'll get there, though. Yeah. I think come later this season, I'm taking the Lakers over the Suns. I just think it's going to take some time.
And it you know what's really fun is people like Westbrook really steps up in those games where it's like...
True.
We feel like we might have a problem. I feel like Westbrook is never one to shy away from like a big game where we might be underdogs or something.
Bring that energy too. Like he brings that like competitive greatness, right?
Yeah,
it's huge.
Absolutely. And then what about the Memphis Grizzlies?
I'm gonna take a W. I'm pretty confident saying that. I think the Grizzlies are a really good young team. I think. Jaren Jackson, I know he just got his payday this morning. I've always been a fan of him. I've always really liked the Grizzlies. Like, just I'm a big John Morant fan. I love them. I think we have too much. We're years ahead of them as far as like just experience. I think this is a type of game where that'll kind of show. Like I could see them kind of getting a little too hyped up, throwing a lot of turnovers. Us, scoring in transition, right? Which is what our kind of like culture is this year, right? Want to get out and run with Westbrook, AD, LeBron. I think you're gonna see a lot of that this game. I think this is a game where we're gonna be coming off a loss, and we're gonna come out firing. So I'm taking the Lakers pretty easily.
Yeah, I totally agree. And they're also playing the Clippers on Saturday, so. And I know it's like beginning of the season, but like I feel like. Mm-hmm. You use so much energy in those first two games that like back-to-back nights in LA it's not easy
for sure. And you're thinking about leaving because you're leaving that night probably or the day after,
right.
Your head's not there.
So I think we can both agree 2-1 win, loss, win. And we've been pretty good historically with our predictions, so
pretty solid.
Not sure about the Austin Reeves one. But I'd love to be surprised.
Please, dude, give it to me.
You want him to be like, who was the last year that you...
was it Macklemore, didn't I?
No, it wasn't Macklemore. It was whoever that other dude...
there was one... I got it, too. It was like he actually did, right? Or something?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
But, hey, guys, season's looking good. It's looking up. God forbid any injuries... We just got to play, understand our weaknesses and, what it's going to take to really beat some of these crazy teams. I mean, the league is just, there's so many good teams now. It's like everyone is just divided up into like 6 or 7 teams that are just amazing. So,
a lot of time.
But
any given night, dude. Like any given night,
seriously.
You can get blown out now, I feel like.
Yeah.
So much talent.
So we gotta stay healthy. We're praying for a good season. Really excited about the podcast. Go follow Max on Twitter. I think it's Lens Lakers on Twitter.
Yes, sir.
And we gotta get the Instagram back up and running. Lakers Lens Podcast. And we'll be posting every week. Hopefully Monday, Tuesday, somewhere around there. And let's have a good week. And we'll talk to you next week.
Let's go Lakers.
Let's go Lakers. Peace.